Namaskar. Is Russia about to invade Ukraine? That is what we are going to talk about today. To understand and answer this question, we need to go back a bit, as far back as in the 1950s. Soviet Union had annexed Ukraine and Crimea, and it was part of that USSR for a very long time. Then the breakup happened, as you all know, in the 1989 1990 Gorbachev's time. And then Crimea and Ukraine were together at that point of time. And unfortunately for Crimea, the population was 90% Russian, but they had some of Ukrainian origin as well as Tatars, and they're called Crimean Tatars. Now, the Crimean Tatars were driven out in what I would call as a genocide, and the what was remaining was the Ukrainians and the nationalistic Russians who felt nationalistic towards the entity or concept of Ukraine. Now, in February 2014, the then Ukrainian president got ousted because of protests on the street and a violent uprising. And when that happened, it's as if the dams broke loose. Russia said that it was going to conduct a referendum in Crimea. And if the Crimeans vote for annexation with Russia, it would do so. The challenge is that while Russia claimed that the overwhelming Crimeans voted for a merger with Russia, those who were of Ukrainian descent in Crimea, as well as those who were feeling nationalistic, did not take part in the vote at all. So that's how this looked like a landslide. While all this was happening, this was in 2014, it was under the watch of Barack Obama, and Barack Obama did not do anything to stop that from happening. So as much as we like to think that Barack Obama, was a very effective leader, this would go down as one of the failures in his administration during his second term, that he did nothing about this. Ukraine, however, was recognized by the United Nations to be what was the entity, and United Nations actually recognized both the combined Crimea and Ukraine. So right now, Ukraine thinks that Crimea should belong to it, but as much as one would like to think something, that's not happening. Now what is happening is Russia has amassed up to 100,000 troops along the Ukrainian border. Last Friday, about a dozen websites of Ukrainian government got hacked and defaced. What did the Biden administration do? The Biden administration threatened to put sanctions on Russia. And to appease US probably, Russia cracked down on an entity which was infamous for hacking into American systems. And what 14 people were jailed, and they were arrested and jailed, and they have seized some property. But until the United States investigators get to talk to these people to understand how much damage they have caused, it is still a moot point. Now, let's go back to what happened in the 2016 elections in the United States, where it was alleged that Russia hacked it in such a way as to help Donald Trump to win. However, it must be said that once Donald Trump became the president, he acted with more punitive sanctions against Russia than the Democrats before him. Also, the Democrats impeached Trump on the 2016 elections, one of the reasons, but they never sent him to jail. In 2020, they had everything under their control from then up until now. The House is under their control, the Senate is under their control, and yet they haven't sent Trump to jail. And they have not been able to prove that Trump actually had Russia meddle in the presidential election to help him win. So why is it that you come all the way to the end and then you stop there? You don't finish this thing. So there is always these unanswered questions. Now what is happening is that Russia has been hacking into United States. Now, when they hacked the 2016 elections, they were expecting a blowback, but nothing happened. So they got emboldened. Then what happened? They hacked into a poultry farm. they hacked into colonial pipeline until Biden administration came up with a diktat. There are some industries, some sectors in the US that the Russians cannot touch or hack. And they defined 16 such sectors. And I'm putting it up in front of you. So the 16 are as follows. There is chemical sector, commercial facilities, communications, critical manufacturing, dams, defense industrial based sector. You can read the thing. I don't have to keep reading it. So these 16 sectors have been marked as a no-go for Russia, saying that you cannot touch any of these things. You cannot hack into any of these companies that are doing work for the United States under these categories. Is Russia going to heed to that? We don't know. So let us just play it out. Let us say that Russia does occupy Ukraine. The US cannot drive out 100,000 strong force of Russia easily. So then what is going to happen? What will the US do? The US might impose more sanctions, or as decided in July of 2021, the US could hack back Russian systems and Russian software. But it must be kept in mind that in terms of complexity and the amount of damage that it can wreak, this is no comparison. The United States is highly networked, very computerized. Even small things, even small businesses now are all on the computers. Everybody has their business. Everyone has a website. Everything is tied to the cloud. So it's far easier for Russia to make a mess of the US infrastructure. The entire economy could be made to grind to a halt, like we saw in case of the SolarWinds hack that happened. It is believed that even that was done by Russia. So we have a lot of things loaded. The United States has a challenge that it may not be able to stop Russia from invading Ukraine. And even if it does do that, the repercussions may actually not work out in favor of the United States. However, Russia is a smaller threat. US is also looking at China doing something similar. So how this is going to play out, only time will tell. But it is our responsibility to kind of give you the lay of the land as to what lies in the future. Thanks for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and do click on the bell button. Namaskar.